as we get closer to the launch. But of course, as it always is, you can always call us with questions or text us with questions as we get closer. And we'll try and answer as much as we can right now. And some answers, if we can't give them to you, we'll give you the best answer to kind of work with until we get the actual final answer for you. I don't know. Oh, good. Alan's here. So I think, is that everybody?
Everybody's in. Yeah.
Great.
We can start. Perfect.
Okay.
Hi, Alan.
Hi, Alan. Welcome. All right, guys.
Everyone see that okay?
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, perfect. Thanks so much,
Right.
Neil. Okay, guys. So again, just to reiterate, we used to meet with you in person at our office, sit around a round table and have a discussion about the sites and kind of get your perspective and get your comments and feedback. So we welcome any comments and feedback that you have, of course, in these early stages. And a lot of this information is as early as we can get it to you. So we're going to kind of go over some of the details with you now about obviously the developer and the project, and then the dates as we roll out. And then after this little presentation we have here, we'll get off the screen share, and then we can discuss anything like questions about incentives or pricing and all that kind of stuff. So we'll start with RioCan. I know that RioCan is such a big name, they probably don't need much of an introduction, but I want to give you a little bit of background about RioCan so you can convey that to your clients, of course. And if you go on their website, you can research all about their history. But we're unbelievably excited to be announcing this partnership with RioCan Living. They have an incredibly massive pipeline of projects that will be coming to the market over the next many, many years. So what this partnership means for all of us is a massive pipeline of incredible sites to be launching year after year, and probably as long as some of our real estate careers. So it's really exciting. This is the very sort of first inaugural site that RioCan is doing as a solo developer. A lot of their past projects, I'll go through them in a second, have always been partnerships. So it's really exciting to kind of note that RioCan is one of the first real estate investment trusts in the country. To date, they're grown to become one of the largest and most successful REITs in Canada. They have about 230 properties within their portfolio already, and are looking to build over 80,000 units in the next few years. So it's really significant. As most of you probably know, a lot of their past residential properties were rental units. So they're experts in obviously the rental game. They know their retail, commercial, they're experts obviously in all of these types of properties. And luckily for us, in the last few years, they've decided to take 50% of that allocated residential portfolio and convert that over towards condos. So that's obviously great for us because that means about 80 towers coming to the market over the next few years for us to work on together. So of course, I'm sure some of these sites will look very familiar to you. They were, happy to be coming to the market with a lot of your support in the past. But as you can see, one thing to note is that, as I mentioned earlier, RioCan's involvement in these projects was always in partnership with another development team. So as you saw on the last slide, The Well, which was brought to you by RioCan Living, but in partnership with Tridel and Allied. On this slide, you'll see Queen and Ashbridge, which was brought to you recently by Team and Context Developments. 11YV, which was a partnership with Metropia and Capital Developments. And then back in 2017, when we launched this project with most of you, was Kingly, and they came out with this site with Allied Properties. So Verge is RioCan Living's inaugural sort of solo project, and you can say that as you can see these projects that are coming to the market after Verge, they're sort of just pulling up to the runway. So the pipeline is significant. You can see the majority of their sites are master plan communities. They're flagship locations that will definitely define these neighborhoods that they're coming to. The first one you can see at the top is RioCan Leaside Centre at Eglinton and Laird. It's along the LRT. It's 7 buildings in total and over about 1,400 units. And then Scarborough Centre, which is coming to Eglinton and Warden, also along the new LRT. That's about 14 buildings and 5,000 units. And then again, another big one here, Shoppers World Brampton at Steeles in here, Ontario, 20 buildings, over almost 5,000 units as well. You can see 2 of these kind of shadow towers in the distance will be kind of the first of this big master plan community that will come out for years and years to come. And then of course, a very exciting downtown site. We have RioCan Hall, also getting ready to launch in the next couple of years, and this is at the corner of Richmond and John. I'm sure many of you are familiar with that Scotiabank Theatre in that downtown core. So it's 2 buildings with over 700 units. So you can imagine, the significant impact that RioCan has and will really have in the coming years. And so we want to get you guys started. Verge is going to be the first of all of these incredible properties coming. We want to get you started and working with the developer and really building this relationship so that you can be working on these projects for as long as your real estate career in pre-construction is. So very, very exciting stuff.
Awesome. Okay, guys, now into the Verge. So this is the rendering of the buildings. We sent you on Monday, we sent you marketing assets with the logos, the teaser video, some renderings. You can, obviously, you can start marketing them. For the brokerages, for example, I got 2 calls from your office yesterday. Your agents were asking me about, the assets that they wanted to market, and I told them to contact you directly. But if any of you guys didn't receive that email, you can definitely contact me, Starion and Neil, and we will keep sending you the marketing assets while we're getting them. For now, that the email that we sent you, you can use it, and then we will keep sending it to you. So I wanted to just talk about the building a little bit here. It's very difficult to make mid-rise buildings very pretty. They're usually very boxy, but this time, we really challenge the architect to, give it more depth and make it more sexy looking, as you see in this rendering. In the next slide, I can show you where the building is. I'm sure by now a lot of you know that. It's on the Queensway and Islington. And it's a massive site. And one thing that I wanted to mention here, and I will touch on that on the next slide as well, is that RioCan itself obviously has a very big name. Be very happy when you're presenting it to your clients, but also one thing that they are very cautious about is that they know that the location is very important to have public transportation close to it, but they know from their the experience that they have had with their rental buildings as well, that people still do drive too. So they are picking the locations that are very accessible to their residents, which I will talk about it a little later as well. The neighborhood, of course, Etobicoke, for a lot of you and some of us as well, we think about this location actually Toronto, but a lot of people who are living in Etobicoke, they take a lot of pride in it, and they want to call it Etobicoke because it has its own personality, it has its own uniqueness. We have the Islington station there, we have Sherway Gardens there, we have the harbor. The Sherwood Gardens actually is the number 1 when it comes to money spent in the malls. A lot of people think that is Yorkdale because of the number of the stores in the mall, but when it comes to actually money spent, is Sherwood Gardens. Our team is very excited to explore Etobicoke. We know the area pretty well, but we're excited to just find out those little shops and restaurants and the uniqueness of the neighborhood. When we go to the next slide, this is where I was talking about the accessibility of the location. So as you see, Humber College is only 6 minutes away. Pearson Airport is 9 minutes away. Downtown Toronto, 15 minutes away. We're only away from Cherry Gardens, like 7 minutes to Highway 427. Gardiner is a minute away. Islington Station, 5 minutes away, and Lakeshore is 9 minutes away. So when you're talking to your prospects, to your leads, you can show them that how accessible this building is. So now we can talk about the Verge a little more. So altogether, the Verge has 2 towers, which I will give you a little more details on that. These 2 buildings will have about 545 units, give or take. We are working on it. It might get to 560 units. 3.25 acre site. It's a massive site. Over 12,000 square feet of indoor amenities, over 12,000 square feet of outdoor amenities, which Starion will tell you more in details about those amenity spaces for you, and over 30,000 square feet of expertly curated retail. When we're talking expertly curated retail is because RioCan knows commercial. They have had a lot of retail. They work on it. They know exactly how to look in it. This building, for example, will have food, will have a cafe, will have wellness. I'm sure you have seen some buildings that have, because of the restaurant, they have the smell of the food issue in the higher levels. But when we're talking to RioCan, they actually blow our mind away how thorough their thinking process is. To have, for example, exhaust fans through the roof, and they have thought about everything in their retail. And also for the units as well, because they're coming from the rental mindset, they are not thinking basically 4 to 5 years. They are thinking 30 to 40 years for their residents. They're thinking about units to be in demand 40 to 50 years from now, because it's super expensive to do renovations. That's why when they're bringing that mindset of the rental buildings to this, actually helps. So when you're talking to your clients, you can actually tell them and showcase this matter that they are bringing that experience to their condos to have it like a very long-term units in demand. For the unit mix, you guys always have helped us. You have given us your feedback to know the appetite of the clients. And based on that, we have worked on the unit mix. 33% of the building is one bedroom, and they are 430 square feet to 600 square feet. The majority of them are between 430 to 560 square feet. 35% of the building is one bedroom plus dens, 560 square feet to 670 square feet. Again, the majority of them will be 560 to about 635 square feet. 2 bedrooms are 22% of the building, 690 square feet to 850. 3 bedrooms are by code 10%, 870 to 1,060 square feet. And this may be the good time to tell you that you'll be happy to hear that the units are coming with 1 parking spot, the majority of them. We will have just very small numbers of the small 1 bedrooms that won't be coming with parking, because it's still like people want to have an adjusted price, and also there are still some people that are not looking for parking. But the majority of the units, I would say, we haven't confirmed it, but about like 560 square feet and up, they will be included with 1 parking spot. The next slide, we can talk about the West Tower. So I will tell you when we get to the site plan, but so this project will have 2 towers, the West Tower and the East Tower. The West Tower will be our first release. We won't call it Verge 1, Verge 2. We will call it the first release and the second release. The first release will be the West Tower. which will have about 200 units. It will have a double height lobby with concierge. It will have a state-of-the-art parcel room. I'm super excited to see this parcel room because it just shows how futuristic this developer is. They know that these days, like, people are actually ordering food, and they're ordering their groceries in. It's not just, like a stationery or home stuff. So the parcel room should have refrigerators, should have cold storage for the food, for the groceries, everything like that. I'm super excited to see that, and it will show you how forward thinking this developer is. State-of-the-art fitness facility. Another thing that will show you how extensively futuristic this developer is the content studio. In this, like the life that we're living and with our industry specifically, we really rely on our social media, and we are always looking for content, and to make those contents, we need a place to do them. So they are making a content studio, which is a professional studio with a green wall, with microphone, with videography, everything that you can think that the professional studio will have. This content studio will have to make you contents for your TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or any kind of social media platform that you guys will use. Expansive outdoor terrace with games area, kids play area, outdoor dining and lounge sitting, One Valley integrated smart living throughout the building. Italian kitchens and amenities are coming from Italy. So I again will tell you a little more details about the kitchens. 9-foot smooth finished ceilings throughout the building. The next slide is actually like the site plan is all. It's something that you always ask us during the process when we are selling. So this shows you exactly how the buildings are situated. The West Tower, which I will say again, that will be our first release, will have 8-story and 10-story building. The second release, which is the East Tower, will have 10, 11, and 17 stories. So this is actually a good time that I can tell you, because a lot of you are calling us and asking us how much you should put on your marketing. Is there 200 units? Are we going to release a second one? And we can tell you that we are working really hard on the second building, and our plan is to release the second release very quickly after the first release. So you will take about 3 to 4 weeks after writing the deals on the first release, which is the West Tower. We will do the second tower. So for your clients who can get to the first release, which is the West Tower, perfect. For the other ones that can't, just tell them to hold on like about 3 weeks, and they will definitely get to the East Tower, because we have 350 units in the East Tower. Between these two towers, we have a dedicated parkland. It's beautiful, and it'll kind of connect these two buildings together. And also, now that we are on the site plan, I can show you that between kind of like a podium between the two kind of towers in the West Tower, the 8-story and 10-story building, there will be some sort of a podium, and we do have some amenities, outdoor amenities on the 9th floor, which Starion will get to them shortly. And also on the East Tower as well, on the 9th floor, we do have some outdoor amenities. So you can go ahead with the amenities.
Great. Thank you so much, Taz. Okay, guys, so these are inspirational images that we wanted to show you to give you an understanding of what's being programmed in the spaces. As always, as we get closer to launch, we're going to be providing you with the actual renderings that will show you how we've programmed the amenity spaces, the lobby, and all of that kind of stuff. But in the meantime, before we have those renderings released to you, we wanted to give you some understanding of the programming of the amenity space, because it's really amazing, and as Tanaz said, very forward thinking. We're understanding obviously now that there's many condos being launched around the city. A lot of the residents are starting to spend, of course, more time within their buildings. You can't just program a gym and leave it at that anymore. So to really enhance the lifestyle of the residents in the building, you want to start programming, making these amenity spaces efficient, obviously beautiful, and very comfortable for everyone to use. So what you'll see here is some of the ideas and designs behind this. Is obviously it's very visually appealing. The design agency is adopting more of an artistic approach to working with your standard kind of finishes and elements. So they're really elevating the designs to make it beautiful around everywhere you look, in the hallways and the lobbies and the amenity spaces, and then of course leads into the suites. But also they're really taking into account the usability of what we're doing here. So what do people do in their condos? So not always do you want to be sitting in your suite taking a meeting. So you can go downstairs to our co-working areas and use one of these soundproof meeting booths that now, we're also used to. We're on Zoom calls all the time. You want to take a meeting, you may not want to sit in your place or go use one of the communal areas within the building. So you want some privacy, you have these integrated into our spaces. We also have, as Tanez mentioned, that creativity content room. And so that's really exciting because a lot of us are really shifting our lives towards, social media and having to create a lot of digital content. So to have that, within your building is really incredible to be able to use. And then we have these creative studios. So of course, we don't want everything to be about work. We want, to bring in some creativity to our lives. So we've got these great spaces that really allow for families and young professionals and people of all ages to be able to go and create, do crafts, anything that you can think of. You can use these spaces to build content and creativity. So this is all on the ground floor. You can see there's a beautiful gym. We'll show you how that will turn out when we have the rendering out to you. We have an amazing lobby that's very welcoming, beautiful fireplace, tall ceilings. Of course, there's concierge. So all of this has been programmed to really invite you into the building. So this is on the ground floor. If you go to the next slide, as Tanaz was mentioning, there is a lot of rooftop on this, this very long, both buildings are very long. So we didn't want to waste that rooftop by just creating a green space or, just making it a rooftop of the podium. We wanted to use that so that we can incorporate a little bit more play into our lives. So we have outdoor and indoor space. Outside, you have these beautifully, curated seating areas. There's sort of Muskoka lounge chairs around fire pits and private seating areas in different sections that have, communal tables and also private tables that you can use barbecues and sit with your guests. There's a kids play area, so that incorporates, some exciting elements for younger children or families. There's also a games area for, all ages, and that's, as you can see, this life-sized chessboard and some other games that we're going to show you when we have the renderings done. And so all of that sort of just incorporating and trying to bring back that element of play into our lives. And then you have the indoor space. So both buildings have indoor space that's connected to the outdoor amenities, and that's been programmed to sort of mimic a chic boutique hotel in, maybe let's call it New York, downtown Toronto, where you've got beautiful entertaining spaces, lovely sort of quiet and private lounges, but also communal tables. There's a beautiful kitchen, and then more of a private dining area. So if you do want to entertain downstairs instead of in your suite, there's many different options for you within indoor or outdoor amenities. The design's also been pulled into the suite, of course. As Tanaz had mentioned, we are bringing our kitchens in from Italy. So it's a company called Trevisana that we've actually worked with in the past. They're incredible. They have many, many different design, color options, textures. And so it really brings in a unique sense and really helps the purchasers customize to their taste. So you'll see a lot of these finishes and colors in the sales center that Tanaz will tell you about shortly. So I want to talk to you a little bit about the views. I'm sort of touching on what Tanaz had talked about in the neighborhood section. I'm sure you're all very well aware of the location, but these views give you a really good understanding of what surrounds the site. So if you're looking north, North of the site is all established residential, tree-lined streets, really lovely greenscape to the north of our site. So that's looking up Islington all the way up to Bloor with the towers in the background. To the south, you're seeing the lake. So these images were done with a drone. They went up to about 13, 14 stories. So you've got a lovely lake view in the distance. You have, again, similar story to the north, a lot of low rise to the south. Closer to the lake, it's mostly residential. And then, of course, just south of the highway is more industrial commercial. And then you've got the cinema to the south of the site. So the east, of course, beautiful skyline view of the city of Toronto. You have the lake in the distance as well. And many of you, I'm sure, are very familiar with this pocket to the east of our site because a few projects have launched in the last couple of years. I will note something about those projects, though. So just east of Islington, you probably recognize Reina, Casimir that's launched, Queensway Park. A lot of those sites that have launched are all to the east of our site and about 8 to 9 stories. So that's great because, you know, it definitely shows that as of Islington, the zoning, the height restriction does descend. So you will be able to see that beautiful skyline in the distance from our higher floors. And then to the west, this is a really interesting image because right now it's sort of showing you before, you know, a lot of the change that's coming to this neighborhood. So this is basically from Islington all the way to Kipling, there is an incredible amount of change that's coming to the Queensway. The area that surrounds the airport that encompasses our site is actually the second largest employment zone in all of Canada, and the first is Toronto. So that's incredible. It's more than, you know, Vancouver and in Calgary, Montreal. So it's really incredible. That's an incredible stat because there is so much demand for housing, residential, to be closer to people's work. And so there's about 300,000 people that work in this zone that surrounds the the airport. And so we're going to see a lot of that change coming along the Queensway here. So if you pull a lot of the development applications, you'll see that almost every site from Islington all the way to Kipling and even past Kipling across the street from Sherway Gardens is master plan communities, a lot of tall towers, a lot of residential that's coming to meet that demand. So I think that'll just enhance the neighborhood. It's going to bring in a lot of retail. It's going to bring in a lot of services and to an already wonderful. Great.
Okay, guys, the portal, the digital portal, we will have that again for you. I remember 2 years ago when we brought it, like a lot of you guys were not happy about it. You wanted to go back to the old school, but now everybody loves the digital portal because you can utilize it. You can show like the views to your clients, to your leads. We will have it again ready for you by the first week of July when we are doing the platinum launch for you guys, and it will have multiple languages translated, so it will make your life easier when you're talking to your international prospects. We will also have a presentation gallery, which is very close to the site. 728 the Queensway is the address. It's going to be a beautiful presentation center. It will have double height ceiling, very long, beautiful. It will have One Valley Smart Living, so you can show it to your clients. And the kitchen that, as Surya was mentioning earlier, we will have 2 kitchens there for you. We will have the standard kitchen, which is panel ready, for all the appliances except the fridge. We'll have a stainless steel fridge, and we will also have an upgraded kitchen that everything is integrated, panel ready. And the kitchens actually are very good features in the presentation gallery because it will show your clients when you're bringing them to the sales office that how thorough the developer has thought about their residents, because people need the kitchen area. For example, they have made these pantries that will have the dishwasher in them. The kitchens will be bigger than the standard kitchens that you see in the other developments. For the smaller units, it will be like a 10.5 kitchen run. For the 2 bedrooms and up, will be a 11.5 kitchen runs and islands, depending on the floor plan, if it's allowed there based on the size. The presentation gallery would also have the 12-foot scale model. I'm so excited to see that. It will be a huge, beautiful scale model, so you can show your clients what they have actually purchased. The only thing, guys, is that the presentation gallery will be ready the first week of August. So for the first release, the 200 units that I told you, you will probably have to bring your clients after they sign and show them what they bought. But by all means, you can utilize the presentation center for the second release. Book it if you want for larger or smaller groups. Bring your clients and use a presentation gallery to for your prospect. It also will have the design inspiration of the building, as Rhea was talking to you about what we have in the concierge and the deep and warm colors that are throughout the building. We will have some of those features in our presentation galleries so you can show it to your clients and prospects. Now we will get to the team. So RioCan, of course, is the developer. Interior design is design agency. Architect Turner Fleischer. Forrest is the landscape architect. We will be doing the sales and marketing for you. We're so excited to work with you again, guys. Myself, Soraya, and Neil on the call. You know that you can always contact us, and we will be contacting you. I'm sure that throughout the whole summer we'll be working together on this. The creative agency will be Gladstone and Norm Lee, and as you see, RioCan has really tried to pick the best of the best to work on these upcoming projects, starting with the Verge. We get to the dates now. This is what you guys have been asking us a lot. So June 8th to 11th, today actually is the last of these Zoom calls that we have done with just a selected group of people, like you guys. The first week of July will be the Platinum Broker launch. Again, just for this a small group of you guys. And another date that is not here because we just secured it is RioCan wants to give you a like an experience, like a RioCan experience. It will be an event and you all will be invited to it. We will send you the save the date, but it will be like for the first week of July. The third week of July will be Platinum Broker allocation, more worksheet submission. We are confirming those things, and the last week of July will be signing the deals. Week of August will be the official project launch, which you know that by that time we are most probably sold out, but we just have to do a project launch. As you know that we have worked together a lot, these dates might change a little, like maybe by a week or several days, but obviously we will let you know the minute that we know what's the updates. We know about the updates, but pencil these days down in your calendars because these will be the actual very close to the actual dates. And also, as I mentioned, I will say it again, that work on your leads. Don't stop the marketing because the second release is coming 3 weeks or to 4 weeks after the first signing that we have. So for those clients, for your clients that couldn't get to the first release, they're definitely getting to the second release with the 350 units. We are very excited to work with you guys, and I'm sure in our summer social event, we will be celebrating not only selling out these towers, but also selling out the best project of the year. Thank you guys for your time. Now, if you guys have questions, we're here to answer your questions.
I just wanted to ask about the price per square foot roughly.
Nice question, Eugene. Okay, what we have done, you know that we can't tell you right now because we still haven't confirmed it. But what we have done with the other groups to make like a little fun game is that what do you guys think the price per square foot should be? Just put it in the chat room. No pressure. Just put whatever you guys think, with or without parking, whatever you think. And this will be just with us. Don't worry. It will be just private for us, but it will be very cool to see what you guys think the price per square foot should be.
Safe.
We wish.
Yes.
Can we do
Maybe
that?
it was back in 2017.
I know.
Or no, earlier than that. 11.
If wishes were horses, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys have taken into account also the fact that there is parking included as well, Tanez had mentioned, for the majority of suites. Again, did note that.
Interesting. This group guessed the lowest. You guys will get less allocation.
No
I'm
allocation.
kidding. I'm kidding.
We're going to go from 1 to 0.
No, don't worry. Well, it's not that far, guys. It's like your game, and just have it in your mind that it will come with one parking, and we will let you know soon. Also, deposit and incentives will be very competitive to what the market has, because as you know, RioCan really doesn't need the bank that much. So we will try to present to you a deposit structure and incentives that will be very competitive when you are presenting it to your clients.
Yes, and on that note as well, we have had a lot of questions about mortgage pre-approvals as well. So that would be essentially not part of an incentive, but we are going to try and be a little bit more lenient with the mortgage pre-approval requirements. We'll obviously get you that information as close as we can, but we are working on that.
This first phase, is this where the Scotiabank is? From the looks of it?
Yeah. So if you go to the site now, the entire 3.25 acre runs from Islington to Dorchester Street. So it's quite long. Dorchester is a small street, but it's basically that entire length of the cinema parking lot, so if you know the area well. So it's essentially exactly where that Scotiabank the Scotiabank is, and it extends, I think it's like a Kelsey's or Milestones, and then the furthest east is, I guess the other Kelsey's or Matt. So there's both of them there, but I'm not sure which side, which each one is. But one thing to note while you're asking that question is, once we've sold the project, and we want to be done and sold this project by early fall, so we want to kind of hustle on this one, they are going to be demolishing the entire site and starting to build both buildings at the same time. So they'll have approximately 2025 occupancy start, but that's being said, it's for both towers. So that's why we're not really calling it a phase 1, phase 2. We want to do it all essentially at once, and so they can get started on construction.